Welcome back to History's Hidden Weird, the podcast that digs up the strange, the forgotten, and the downright bizarre corners of history that somehow slipped through the cracks. I'm your host, Quinn Strange. And today, strap in, we're diving into a story so odd, it feels like it was pulled from the X-Files, or maybe your uncle's conspiracy theory blog. We're talking about Project Stargate. Yes, the CIA's real-life psychic spy program. Remote viewing. Astral projection. Mind powers. And a whole lot of Cold War paranoia. Let's open the file. It's the early 1970s. The Cold War is simmering, Vietnam is unraveling, Watergate is brewing, and the CIA is, well, doing what the CIA does best, freaking out over what the Soviets might be doing. Now, rumors start filtering in, whispers that the Soviet Union is pouring millions into psychic research. That's right, telekinesis, mind control, telepathy, basically every weird superpower you'd find in a 1970s sci-fi paperback. And if they were doing it, well, then by God, we had to do it too. Thus was born Project Stargate, America's top-secret psychic espionage program. And no, this wasn't some fringe backroom experiment. This was CIA-funded, Pentagon-approved, and it ran for over 20 years. The project kicked off in 1972 at Stanford Research Institute in California. Two physicists, Harold Puthoff and Russell Targ, were brought on board. Their mission? To test the potential of remote viewing, a supposed psychic ability to see events, objects, or people located far away. And yes, people got paid to sit in a quiet room, close their eyes, and imagine what a Soviet submarine base looked like. One of the most famous remote viewers was a guy named Ingo Swann. He claimed he could travel psychically anywhere in the universe. At one point, he said he remote viewed Jupiter, before the Voyager probes got there. He described rings around the planet, which were confirmed years later. Coincidence? Lucky guess? Something more? We'll come back to that. Another big name? Joseph McMonigal, an Army vet turned intelligence psychic. He was awarded the Legion of Merit for producing crucial and vital intelligence unavailable from any other source. Which is a pretty bold claim for a guy who worked from a couch with a blindfold. So how did it work? Well, first, let's set the scene. A subject, like McMonigal, would be given a coordinate, a sealed envelope, or sometimes, nothing at all. Then, they'd be told to sketch or describe the target location. That could be a Soviet missile silo, an American hostage in Iran, or even a crashed aircraft. The sessions were vague and dreamlike. Sketches, impressions, emotions. Sometimes accurate. Sometimes, not even close. Like one time, McMonigal claimed to view Mars 1 million years ago, describing tall shadowy beings and ancient structures. You know. Standard intelligence briefing stuff. But there were moments that spooked the skeptics. During the Iran hostage crisis, remote viewers were asked to locate American hostages. Some described interiors of buildings that matched the real thing. The CIA didn't know what to do with that information, so they shelved it. Now, not everyone was on board. Plenty of scientists, both inside and outside the government, thought this was complete nonsense. The results were inconsistent, impossible to replicate under strict conditions, and wide open to interpretation. But, intelligence agencies aren't always looking for proof. Sometimes they just want any lead. And in the murky world of Cold War espionage, remote viewing was weirdly attractive. It was cheap. It was low risk. And if there was even a 1% chance it worked, well, that was worth exploring. At its height, Stargate and its related programs involved the CIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency, the Army, and even NASA dipped its toes in. Over 2 decades, the U.S. government spent millions on psychic research. But eventually, the house of psychic cards collapsed. In 1995, the CIA commissioned an independent review of the program by the American Institutes for Research. They wanted to know, did remote viewing ever provide actionable intelligence? The answer? Not really. The final report concluded that while there were a few intriguing cases, the results were too vague, unreliable, and inconsistent. In short, not useful for intelligence purposes. So Project Stargate was officially shut down. Just like that, the government closed the book on its psychic spies. Or did they? Some believe black-budget programs continue the research. But hey, that's another rabbit hole. Even though Stargate ended, its bizarre legacy lives on. It inspired books, documentaries, and even Hollywood movies. You might have seen The Men Who Stare at Goats. Yes, that's loosely based on this stuff. Psychic warriors, goats, and all. And to this day, a small but passionate group of remote viewing enthusiasts still train in the technique. Online courses, YouTube psychics, even ex-government operatives teaching seminars. For a fee, of course. And the strangest part? Some high-level officials remained convinced. One Army general insisted remote viewing saved lives. Another CIA analyst believed it was real but too dangerous to rely on. So what's the truth? Was it all just Cold War panic and wishful thinking? Or did we briefly touch something beyond our understanding? We may never know. But the fact remains, for over 2 decades, the U.S. government tried to spy with their minds. And that, my friends, is just weird enough to be true. If you liked today's tale of astral espionage and psychic soldiers, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and tell your most skeptical friend. Next time, we'll dig into another forgotten oddity from the archives of the unbelievable. This has been History's Hidden Weird. I'm Quinn Strange. Thanks for listening. Stay curious. Stay kind. Stay wonderfully weird.